Family, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Talking with Tonio. So in today's episode, we will be discussing how to market your brand to 10K months in 2021. I'm super excited to give you this information because I know a lot of people want to start their clothing brand this year. So I want to help you out as best as possible. And you guys know on this channel, I always give you guys the secret sauce when it comes to this social media marketing and just this marketing game. So if you're excited, go ahead and thumbs up the video. And if you like the content, go ahead and subscribe because you will be getting more videos like this. But without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, you guys, now before we even get into the marketing strategies, I do have to bring up two topics, which is the niche that your clothing brand is in and your clothing brand's brand story. And I see so many people get these two things wrong, which make it very, very hard for them to sell their clothing brand and get their clothing brand off the ground, okay? And when I'm talking about niche, I'm talking about the designs that your clothing brand falls within. Everybody wants to have a Supreme or Off-White or Fear of God, but they don't realize how long it took those clothing brands to get brand authority. And as long as you know that if you do take that route, right, you just want to slap a logo on a t-shirt, that it may take longer to, get brand authority with your brand. As long as you're okay with that, you will get sales eventually, but it's going to take a lot of grinding to get there. Versus if your clothing brand is in a particular niche, like something like God is Dope, right? God is Dope was able to scale their business so fast because they're in the Christian niche, right? If you like God and you think God is dope, I know specifically who to target. But if you slap just a random brand logo on a t-shirt, you're not going to really know who to target. And it's going to take longer and longer and longer, to grow your brand. You're going to have a lot of influence to grow your brand. So that's why niche is so important. And then to couple that with your brand story, what is your brand about? Why did you create this brand? Who does this brand resonate with, right? So for me, I created my clothing brand, Mob Clothing, which just stands for Movements Over Barriers Clothing. It's for people that were struggling in the area of self-confidence. They were living their life in fear. That's one of my main sayings with my clothing brand is stop living in fear. So for people that resonate with that, will buy my clothing, right? So what is your brand about? How do people resonate with their clothes? Right? So that's why branding is so important, you guys. And if you don't get those two things correct off the bat, I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very, very hard to sell your clothes online. So hopefully that first part made sense for you guys. And even if you really don't understand it completely, you're going to understand it more and more and more. And it's going to resonate with you once I start giving you these marketing strategies, because it's going to make it so much easier for you if you know your niche, and you know your brand story, especially once we get into some of the deeper marketing strategies. But the first marketing strategy that I want to give you is to make sure that you get your content down. Content is so important right now, you guys. You want to make sure that you do your brand photo shoots and you give BTS of your clothing brand. Tell people how you got it started. What's your mission? Like, all these things are so important, you guys. And, if you want to figure out a way to do photo shoots without having to hire models, I do have a video on that right here. Definitely check it out, or maybe over here, I don't know. But definitely check it out because I know that we're still in these, COVID-19 times, and you may not be able to hire, models and stuff like that. So definitely check out this video so you can definitely get mock-ups for your clothing brand so you can post them, for your marketing campaigns. But yes, content is king, you guys. So, probably your first couple of customers are going to be your friends and family. And you want to make sure that you get that user generated content so you can post it on your Instagram, or your Facebook pages. So, your first couple of customers, definitely reach out to them, email them, let them know, hey, I want those pictures of you in the clothes. And then if you can have models and hire them, or you can, watch that video and learn how to get those mock-ups without having models, right? You want to be able to post that to your Instagram to start driving traffic to your website. okay? And why this is so powerful is because most people are very visual. They want to see what your clothing looks like. When you just put a t-shirt on a blank background, it's not going to really entice people to buy. So people want to see what your clothes look like, in videos and photos, and then they want to see, how you got your brand started. If you have a warehouse or if you're shipping, your clothes from your home, like that's why YouTube and Instagram and these, TikTok, Instagram Reels are so powerful, because people want to invest in you, right? Sometimes people will buy your clothes just because, they want to support you. So you want to show people the process of creating the clothes. You want to show people, what your clothes look like, how it looks like on different models. And it's definitely going to help bring that brand awareness to your brand. And again, people will support you if you start putting that content out and start building that relationship with your target audience. And that's why I say, your brand story is so important, because if your brand story resonates with people and your clothing brand matches that, it just makes it 10 times easier to remove those, barriers from people buying to support you. So the second marketing strategy that I want to give you is influencer marketing. You guys, influencer marketing is so powerful, especially in 2021, but you've seen influencer marketing so many times with Nike, with Jordan, Adidas, and Yeezy, and then all clothing brands use other people of influence to really market their clothing brand. So what I recommend you doing, especially if you have the budget, is to find micro influencers. That's typically anywhere between, I would say, 10K to 100K. Or even lower depending on your budget, and just reaching out and saying, hey, listen, I have a product. I want to give it out to you totally free if you make a post, right? For a lot of people, that is fine. They won't even charge you for it because they just feel like they're getting free goods. So that's cool. For other people, they may want some type of compensation. So definitely work with the influencer to figure out what makes the most sense. And then what you want to do is make sure that they send you their demographic, because you want to know their audience, what is the age range, what type of content they create. And again, the reason why your niche is so important, because if you know that you create fitness product and fitness apparel, right, and you reach out to a fitness, influencer, it makes more sense. It's gonna drive sales so much easier versus you creating content, having a brand that where you really don't know who your audience is, who your niche is. You may send your, brand to this influencer and you have, not a lot of data to work with. So, having your niche in place and knowing your brand story to make sure that they align with that is going to make it so much easier to find an influencer that lines up with your brand. Now, the third marketing strategy that you probably saw coming is some type of paid advertising strategy, okay? And that's something like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or Google ads, okay? And why Facebook ads and Google ads are so powerful is because of their detailed targeting, okay? And you can get very, very detailed. So depending on your clothing brand, let's just say you make dog apparel, you can literally target those type of people. You can target engaged shoppers. You can target demographics like local areas. Like you can get very, very detailed with your targeting when it comes to Facebook ads and Google ads as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you study Facebook ads and learn it as much as possible. Now, if you would like help with your Facebook ads or running paid advertisements, hit me up. You can hit the link in the description. We can set up a consultation to see if I can help you out. But you definitely want to have some type of paid strategy, especially when you're trying to drive traffic, because social media and just the internet in general is a very, very saturated and crowded place. So running these Facebook ads, even at $5 a day, can get you a very good starting point to see how people are resonating with your brand. Now, I do also want to talk about a slept on strategy that a lot of people don't use enough, which is email. There is so much money in emails, you guys. I literally made a video on it a while back talking about, is email marketing dead? Definitely check that out as well. Email is so powerful, especially when it comes to e-commerce, because a lot of people are not going to buy from you when they first see it. You're going to have so many abandoned carts, but if you have a very, very good abandoned cart sequence, you can close so much sales that probably wouldn't have closed if you didn't have that abandoned cart sequence up. So, one of my favorites is Klaviyo, because you do have text messaging and email, which is a very, very powerful combination. If you want me to do a tutorial on my own personal Klaviyo, I can. But if you don't use Klaviyo, you can use MailChimp or whatever you like. But definitely use email, you guys. There's so much money in emails. If you can email your list 2 to 3 times a week, I would definitely recommend it. And then 2, especially if you're sending so much traffic with Facebook or influencer marketing, you're probably building a big email list. So, not reaching out to them will be a detriment to your sales. So definitely use email as much as possible. Now, these are all the marketing strategies that I have used and some of my clients have used to reach 10K months. But again, you do have to do these pretty much simultaneously and consistently. And then also depending on your profit margin with your close. So if you're using print on demand, it is going to be so much harder to reach 10K months because you will have to have a lot of volume, and depending on your ad spend will make it kind of difficult. But if you are sourcing your own products and services, it will make it that much easier to reach 10K because obviously you have a bigger profit margin. So let me know if this video was helpful. Again, thumbs it up. I would greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all be easy.